Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Terry Ryan. Welcome to my channel. I have been doing topics about what I learnt going through domestic violence and different things that we go through during our life. I wrote a book, and this is where some of the things that I'm talking about is coming from. My book is called I Survived Domestic Violence and Stalking. If anybody would like to buy a copy of that book, you can go to my website, which is terry-ryan.com.au. There is a selling tool there, and you can purchase a copy. If you add the $3.45, you will get it posted to you fairly cheaply if you're in Australia. I also want to tell you about I'm having a book launch, an official book launch this Friday the 16th of August at 11 a.m. at the Heathcote Golf Club. You are more than welcome to come. I will be speaking about what it's like to be a victim of domestic violence and a few little hints on what you can do as a friend or a family member of somebody going through the situation, the do's and don'ts of what to do, and also a little bit about how I came about to writing the book. I hope to see you there. You're more than welcome to come. There will be light refreshments and some snacks there, and I will be doing a sign-in of the book, and anyone who wants to purchase the book can also purchase one that day. I'll have plenty with me that day, so I'm hoping to meet you there. Please introduce yourself. I'd be really happy to speak to you and meet you. But today's topic, what I wanted to talk about was being brave. Only because I was a person who I was super sensitive as a child, super sensitive as a teen and an adult, went into adulthood with lack of confidence and everything. This was contributed to the fact that I went through bullying early years and also went through the domestic violence. But also as a child, I was a terrified child. Anything that happened would terrify me if it was out of the ordinary. I couldn't cope with meeting new people, big crowds, being in new locations on my own. These type of things would affect me terribly, and I would end up having an attack of, stomach trouble and everything because I was so terrified. Being a scaredy cat person and not a very brave person is not an ideal situation to be in, as you do miss out on many things in life that you could be going through and enjoying, and I found it was detrimental to my life being a scaredy cat type of a person because I was terrified of going and doing something new, taking risks. I remember I was invited away as a teenager and I would use the excuse, no, I've got nothing to wear, but it wasn't that at all. I was just scared stiff of the way people would react to me, whether I was going to be accepted. Also my location, I wasn't sure of the location. I was scared of being anywhere where I didn't know where I was going to be. And so it had a great big limiting effect on my life. And then once I married my narcissist husband, I became even more insecure and more unconfident and more scared. And mind you, looking back now, I realised he was the perfect partner for me because I was such a scaredy cat. I needed to learn how to operate in the world, how to get boundaries for myself and to build my confidence, and I was kind of backed into a corner by him so that I had to either stand up and take control of my own life or be submissive to him and perhaps end up being killed by him because he did have that threat in the end. So I was put in a corner and I had to make that first decision to be brave. And the first decision that I had to make was that I had to leave. I had to change the situation. And there was one thing I did learn from domestic violence, one lesson, and it was also an Alcoholics Anonymous lesson, was that accept the things that you can change and change the things that you can't. And this was Oh, this was a fabulous lesson for me because I realised that, okay, there were certain situations within my marriage and with the domestic violence and my abuser that I couldn't change. I couldn't change the fact that he was in my life and he was going to remain in my life because we had children together. I couldn't change that fact. But what I could change was the fact that the way he was treating me was not good enough, and I had a right to say, you're not treating me that way, and change in my life. And by doing that, I had to make the brave step of saying, I'm moving out. And mind you, I wasn't that brave to say that. I didn't do that. I waited till he went to work one day and I left. But that was a humongous decision for me to make, a very, very brave step for me to make, because in the situation of an abuser and a narcissist and the threats that he had, that's the most dangerous time that you can leave a violent situation. It's the danger time for women. They have to be watching their back the whole time, because this is the time when quite often murder happens and really bad assaults happen. So it was a very brave decision for me to do. But I made that decision, and that was a turning point in my life. I turned things around and I was able to start to make more brave decisions for myself. Brave decisions of stepping out and starting my life over. And it didn't stop there, because when you're a scaredy cat person like I was, there's always going to be a time when you need to be brave and you need to remind yourself of being brave. And I still take it to this day. I still are coming up against things where I have to think to myself, now, wait a minute, just stop there for 1 minute. What is the worst thing that can happen if I do it? You know, when I'm being scared and I don't want to take a risk, I've got to think to myself, oh, wait a minute, what is the worst thing that could happen? Maybe nothing could happen, but then maybe there's a greater chance that it's going to work, and whatever I'm trying to achieve or whatever I'm trying to do, it will take effect and it will bear fruit. And this is the type of thing that I have to tell myself all the time, and it's about being brave. Even this week with this book launch, I realised that I have had somebody who has stepped back and is not going to help now. So it was kind of a little bit of a shake-up that, okay, here I am, I've got to conduct this and do it all myself. So this is a brave thing to do, and I've told myself, what's the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is that nobody shows up. Well, these are the insecure things that you tell yourself when you're not very confident of yourself. But no matter what happens, I know it's going to be a good day, and at least I'm trying, I'm taking the risk. And this is what I'm saying today. I had another friend of mine from the US tell me what she did for herself was, at least once a week, she did something brave for herself. And little by little, you do become more and more brave by taking little steps, baby steps, and you might have to crawl in the beginning and then take the baby steps until you get to a stage where you do step out with confidence. And so this was one of the lessons that I learnt going through domestic violence and bullying, that it's important to be brave and not allow your fear to control you, because if you allow your fear to control you, you are missing out on a lot of things in your life that could turn your life around and that could be amazing for your life. So this is what I am speaking about today, to be brave and take that leap, and little by little do something brave for yourself once a week. And that's about all I wanted to say today, and I hope everybody has a great week. And if you want to hear more of these little chats, just press the subscribe button and the bell, and you won't miss out on any of these little chats. Okay, I hope everybody has a great week. Bye for now. Till next time.